Yeah, you saw that right. You look at that time, it's a bit shorter this week. But don't worry, we still have some good talking to come up, and we'll still have some more stuff coming up in future weeks and stuff here on Cosmere Chronicles, the podcast where we follow two first-time readers, Sheta and Justin. We chronicle their journey through Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere series. On today's episode, we'll be chronicling, well, we'll just be going through a preview of White Sand, going over our thoughts and looking at the covers. So now just sit back, relax, and we'll throw it over to the host of this podcast. This is Joe. Thank you, Joe. Yep, everyone, we're here, and we are doing a shorter episode because we are previewing our next story. Yep, and I'm Joe, like normal, and I'm joined once again by Sheta and Justin.
I'm Sheta, not normal.
I'm Justin, and I am normal. That's what makes us such a hilarious pairing for this podcast.
One moment.
Wow, that was so bad we lost our host.
And also, if anybody wants to check it out, on our YouTube, there should be a version of this where we have video. That way you can see the covers along with Justin and Sheta. There'll probably be two versions on YouTube. One normal, one will say with pictures. So if you want to check that out, see the covers as they go ahead and do that. All right. Yep, so we are doing... So the next story that we will be reading will be the graphic novel White Sand, which I'm very curious to see our thoughts because all three of us have read a bunch of comics, so this will be a little bit different than going through and reading a book.
Mm-hmm. So
Finally going to be reading in my native language of comics.
Yeah, it'll be fun to have to see the characters and like have a whole different experience with this. And he wrote these too, right? Like these are not books originally. These are written as comics. Or...
All right, so when you bring that up, let's get into where White Sand came from.
Okay.
It has a little bit more interesting, way it came to be. So, you remember before when I told you that, Elantris, that was his first published book, but it was his sixth novel he had written overall, because he had written 5 novels before that. And so, White Sand was the very first novel that Brandon Sanderson wrote.
Mm.
Yeah, so he wrote White Sand, and then he wrote something else, and then his third novel he wrote was a sequel to his original White Sand novel. And then years later, writes a bunch of, maybe not years later, but later he writes a bunch of other stuff, and then he decides he wasn't really happy with the White Sand that he had written originally, so he rewrites it for like his 8th or 9th volumes, or 8th or 9th novel, something like that. So he rewrote it. And that version that he rewrote is something that you can read if you wanted to. He didn't, it's not published, but if you, sign up for his newsletter on his website, you can get a PDF of that prose version sent to you, and you can read it.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't read it myself because, personally, I'm not that interested in unpublished stuff that has something else that overwrites it. And I also decided we're not going to read that prose version because he did also ask that people, if you read it, don't go and talk about it in public forums or something like that. Just let it be something that people are able to read and stuff.
Wait, so he's trying to keep it paywalled?
Paywalled, but you can still get it for free.
Oh, that's weird.
I think more like that's not officially canon, so don't talk about it like it is, maybe.
Yeah.
Like sounds like it's like a deleted scene or something that, like a storyboard. Yeah. Early stuff. And
he has one other of his books that he wrote during that same time period where same thing, you can request it and get it sent to you, called Aether of the Night. So he has 2 that are unofficial, that are a little bit rougher, but you can read them if you want. So yeah, so he had written, like I said, this White Sand, had it, wasn't published, and then I can't remember if it was somebody came to him or if he came up with the idea to turn it into a graphic novel. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, then it got turned to a graphic novel. Let me look inside. Was there somebody else that...
Adapted it?
Yeah. All right,
I
yeah,
assume so.
yeah, story by Brandon Sanderson, script by Rick Hoskin.
So this could go either way. I've seen some pretty bad versions of that before, so I'm very curious.
And also Isaac Stewart did the script for the prologue and the Ars Arcanum.
Interesting.
Yep. So, yeah, so it got turned into 3 volumes of a graphic novel originally. Volume 1 was published June 28th, 2016. Volume 2, February 20th, 2018. And Volume 3, September 18th, 2019. And then...
Do we know, is Brandon Sanderson a comic guy or not really?
I do not know. I don't know exactly. I'd assume he has read some comics, but...
Well, I mean, everyone's read some, but some people are comic people, some are just not.
That I do not know. I do know he read the manga Hikari no Go. I know that. He said he's not a big manga person, but that is one manga that he read. Was Hikari no Go.
I do not know what that is.
It's one about... the manga is about... It's a Shonen Jump one. It's about a kid who plays Go, and there's like a ghost person that's able to talk to him to give him advice about playing Go.
So he's a cheater. Okay, got it.
Sure, we'll go with that. And I think the main character of that was one of like the support characters you can get in that V-Stars versus game that we've played. So yeah, so we have 3 volumes all released, and then a little bit later they put all those into an omnibus version, and in that they also fixed up some issues they had, cleaned up some like text bubbles and stuff to make it clear about who's saying what and what they're saying, fix some backgrounds.
What are we signing up for here?
I'm just saying, like, this is what some stuff they did to fix it up when putting it into the omnibus. I'm not saying they did a massive overhaul, just, maybe...
No, I'm saying if there's that many mistakes already.
I don't think it's so much mistakes. I think it was more... People are speaking different languages. They use kind of a different font for the 2. Yep. And then they also made a new prologue chapter, put that in as well. So it's a little bit more than what there originally was. That's why we're going to go with the omnibus, because it includes a little bit more than the original 3-volume versions.
Okay.
So now, before we go into the covers, I'm just going to ask you, like, what are your thoughts going into this? You're reading a comic book. What are you expecting to see? What are maybe some worries that you have, some hopes that you have? And maybe what do you want to see?
I'm going to be bluntly honest. My expectation based on previous, when a comic writer adapts a prose writer into comic form, my expectations are that this is going to suck ass. Like, the original story's probably quite good, and it's going to be completely lost with this shitty, horrible writing of whatever random comic, quote, writer that they grab to adapt it. That's just my experience based on other similar kinds of situations of adapting either, movies, shows, or books into comic form. I love comics. I love them so much. They're my favorite medium. But I'm going to be honest, 98% of comic writers are some of the worst writers who've ever lived. Like, they're so dumb. I also expect absolute garbage art, too. I'm so used to that as well. However, with this, maybe that won't be the case, since this isn't like adapting an actual book that was published. So maybe they paid to have an actual artist. We'll see.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly. I actually do get a lot of comics based off of books and things, and like I got the Game of Thrones comics that they were doing, and then like I got Serenity, I think it's the Firefly comic. Yeah, I don't know. It's always a hit or miss for comics. I agree with you, Justin.
Oh, in my opinion, it's virtually always a miss. I
Yeah.
really do not buy tie-in comics or comics based on things because, yeah.
I don't know. I thought that the Evil Dead comics that I read were pretty good.
That is an interesting exception because they really embrace the comic aspect of it. That is true. I mean, some of those suck too, but on average, they're a lot better.
Would the publisher change your thoughts on it?
Oh, God. Who's the publisher?
Dynamite.
Okay, that could go either direction. Dynamite has some real trash out and some surprisingly good stuff, like with where people cared about it.
Mhm.
They also have like
I mean,
5 different Red Sonja comics.
more than that. I was just at the comic shop looking at them. They have a lot out.
I mean, yeah, they got a movie coming out.
One of which I just saw was Red Sonja Evil Dead, or Army of Darkness, to be on topic.
I remember I owned the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator graphic novel.
Army of Darkness Marvel Zombies. That's the peak Army of Darkness crossover comic, in my opinion.
Was that one written by Robert Kirkman, or was it somebody else at that point?
No, it was somebody else, but it actually keeps with the vibe of the originals pretty well, where every other Marvel Zombies comic after has been garbage.
Because did Robert Kirkman do Marvel Zombies 2?
He did.
All
But
right,
then
so
he
it was
left instead of doing 3. He leaves it on a fucking cliffhanger and then leaves. And then they get fucking Rob Van Lint to write the next one, and he just abandons the plot line. God damn it, I'll never forgive that.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts or hopes that you guys have for this?
I am excited to see the art for it and to see. Basically, in my head, I'm imagining the similar things between all the books that we've read, but in comic form. So I expect to see lots of characters and maybe a lot of POV changes towards the end of the comic. Uh, if there's a magic system, I'd be curious to see that in there.
Did
You
you?
know, stuff
If
like that.
there's a magic system, I feel like that's the whole thing of these books. I mean, we'll see. One of them could pop up, and it's just like a standard historical drama or something.
Brandon Sanderson has said that he tried to build himself as being known as the magic system guy.
Okay.
He says that's more of a marketing thing. His stories are more
Yep.
about the characters and everything, but he likes to market himself as the magic system guy. That way people will buy his stuff.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
smart.
gimmick. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll look at the covers of these. Just so you know, so with our journey, we start on the planet Cell with Elantris, went to Scadrial for Mistborn, we went to Nulthus for Warbreaker, so now we are going to the planet called Taldain.
Oh, you're just gonna tell us that these are planets? Like,
He's been telling us that for a long time.
I know, but I was like, wait a minute. Did you say planets? Is this the Cosmere? That sounds
Don't
like
answer that.
like a
Don't answer
universe
that.
name.
Well,
And I was like, is that
Don't
it?
answer that. Don't you dare.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
just
okay.
saying, every single time I tell you we're on a different planet, that we are not in a story, you're expecting, oh man, is Raodin going to show up? Is Breeze going to show up?
Yeah, Breeze is the one I'm expecting to show up.
I did. I expected Spook and them to show up in this one. They didn't.
You said that you thought it was spooking them in Warbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. No.
Do you remember
Yeah.
that? Like the people that came on the boats in the past were going to be
Oh
spooking
my
them.
god,
Mhm.
no.
And because of their Mistborn powers, they're gonna be
Sheta,
taken as gods,
I have never been more angry at a fan theory than when I was listening to that.
What?
I hated that. I was so mad.
All right. So now let's go back to White Sand. So not many covers for this. So I'll show you. We'll have the three single volume covers and then the omnibus. So this is the cover of volume 1.
Hey, this
Ooh,
is
pretty.
Dynamite, so we can be sure that this cool cover art will not be on the inside of the comic.
I like it.
All right. Tan blonde guy with a bunch of spears. Everyone's wearing white, jumping around like this is an anime cover or a manga cover.
I like
You got
it.
some cool people in the background. Surprisingly, multiple races, which I'm not used to out of these, so that's interesting.
Uh-huh. When did this come out? Oh, 2015? Okay.
2016 was the first volume.
2016? Okay. This feels like a Japanese video game cover. You see it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I
So it
said,
feels
looks like a manga cover, like a shonen cover.
yeah. They all have purses and pouches. So I wonder if they
Yeah.
have
He's got
some
his man
magic
purse.
powder in there.
Why you assume it's white sand in there? Oh yeah, they're standing on white sand. That is true. Arrows everywhere.
No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
I don't even know what joke it could be.
Too obvious.
Yeah, not what I expected.
Yeah, Justin, you mentioned it's a Dynamite cover. It's for it to be a true Dynamite comic. One of the variants has to be just somebody in cosplay.
Yeah, where's the busty babe wearing nothing? This isn't a Dynamite comic. What are you talking about?
Hey, she's wearing a little belt or something.
All right. Well, maybe it's because it was only graphic novel and not single issues.
That might be it. Yes, that's yeah.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
Now we'll go look over at Volume Two's cover.
All right. This is weird. They've got guns.
What?
That guy in the back has a gun thing. This lady's wearing a relatively not medieval hat. You got this guy with the hood again. See, this is weird because these are actually consistent, where usually when you show the covers, it's like 50 characters who are not on each other's covers.
Yeah, this
But
is the
here
same
Yeah,
it's
artist, so
here it's just the
yeah,
same guys.
yeah. Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on that because there's not international covers.
I
Mm-hmm.
see.
Thank God.
Yeah,
This
I'm
one
not
lady's
sad.
wearing black and ruining the whole scheme.
That's true. Maybe she's not a priest.
She's got like 100 arrows on her. Looks like a crossbow gauntlet.
It looks like Helena, um, Huntress.
Yeah, this new 52 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe all those pouches, like Rob Liefeld pouches
Well, it's a
and
comic.
gauntlets, and it's like, all right, let's just go all out.
I like this guy's white trench coat though. I also like this guy in the white
But
military uniform in the back.
I really like all the designs. So I wonder, I really wonder what the tone is. It's interesting to see art of Brandon Sanderson stuff because it's not specific to any like culture or area or like derivative of something, it's always completely, it feels like made up and fantasy like, but not like in a Tolkien style. So having very creative designs is really cool, and I like seeing it. It's really unique.
All right. I guess we'll go on to Volume 3.
All right, so they got some kind of shiny light magic. You got fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula in the middle here.
That's not that's like Big Mom or the granny lady from Spirited Away. Like
It's like Mom from Futurama, right? That's what I see.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mom. Big yeah. Yes. I think they're gonna throw pocket sand at each other. That's
This
the
looks
magic system.
This really looks to me like a video game tie-in comic.
Yeah, it does have yeah, the video game vibes are all there. I think it's the font of the title.
It's everything, the setup, the fighting, the magics.
Even like
So we
White
got light
Sand
tentacles. I'm
3.
excited for that. Yeah, White Sand 3. That was the third game. Yep.
Yep.
Which does not stay consistent because the second volume does not have a 2 on it.
Well, that's confusing.
And if that oh, it was really gonna bother me.
But also the artist changed from Volume 2's cover to Volume 3's cover.
You're right.
Oh,
It
you're
did.
right. Yeah, no.
Oh, and the inside of the comic? I fucking hate when that happens.
Yeah.
God, I hate that so much.
All right, well, let's go on to our last cover, which will be the cover for the Omnibus edition.
Hey, we got that same lady with the glasses and the blue white outfit, and that same blonde dude with the light hands in the back. Bunch of white sand everywhere, bunch of red flags. A Cosmere graphic novel.
Cute.
I'm going to be honest, this is by far my least favorite cover.
Yeah. That's neither of the artists. It's
This
interesting.
is the one I would not buy. Of the three, I'd be most likely to buy.
The first one.
Mine is the second one.
Oh, you just like the guns.
I do like that.
I like the first one because of all the monks coming at me. Kind of
This
feels like
fourth,
Legion, the movie.
the movie even.
Yeah.
This fourth one kind of looks like loading screen art for like an online video game.
Oh, like a phone game? That's amusing.
No, not like a phone game. No.
Okay.
Though it's also not really a compliment.
Well, then, let's just let's just go into the you two. Now it's time for you to come up. What is the plot of this graphic novel from these covers?
Oh, yay, my favorite
I'm
part.
gonna
Okay,
let you go
let's
first,
see.
Sheta.
Well, I already said they throw pocket sand at each other.
Yep, pocket sand. That's it.
No. Okay, so I think this is going to take place in a church or monastery of some kind where they have to use their tornado powers powered by sand. Powered by sand to like fight. What are they fighting? Whoever has these red flags is taking them down. This looks like because it's all like kind of the same thing. It looks like it's gonna be like the thing, or like they're in the middle of the mountains, like no one else is around but these red flag people, and then the monastery. So they're just gonna keep fighting each other, and it didn't go anywhere.
You're basing a lot on the red flag aspect.
Well, like that's the only
Except
enemy
I
I
think that's
see.
just a ripped up tent. I don't think that's a flag.
There's a flag.
All right, all right.
Yeah, that's a flag.
Well, on this world, it's all desert. It's all sand pretty much. And you've got these monk guys who protect the ancient reservoir of magic, and then this long-haired guy. He's from the evil monks who have more fascisty uniforms. They want it. And then this lady has a book that she uses to learn about these people from this far off land she's visiting. Yep. Very, very boring book. And then this lady, this huntress girl, is an assassin who was hired to go kill somebody. In fact, she was hired to kill this lady in the hat, and then this guy with the hood is going to protect her. But then this guy with the hood in the back and this guy with the gun, they're from the bad guys. And they're hunting her because they're all three from the same society, but this guy is from the mountains. Yep, 100%. That's the plot of this book.
I will honestly say I am surprised that Sheta did not throw in like 2 different ships from these covers.
Oh, there will be ships, but
We need a
right
mock
now,
up of the There Will Be Blood cover, but with you standing on it and replace blood with ships.
yeah, I'm excited. Well, since they're in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing but ships. That's what I'm saying.
There's no ships in the desert, Sheta.
You
Oh,
haven't
that
read Tintin then.
there was that one filler episode of One Piece in Alabasta where you had like sand pirates who had ships out in the desert.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there's
stand
always
corrected.
ships.
Also, there was a ship in the desert in Pirates 3.
Yep.
That wasn't really a that was like the afterlife. That doesn't really
Yeah, but
count.
it
Well,
did have white sand.
and for all we know, this
I
could be
thought it
the
was just white.
afterlife.
I thought it was just solid white ground.
I think it was sand, wasn't it, Sheta?
Because
Like a
Yeah,
he
beach?
was he was
yes,
having
it's
to
beach.
ride on like crabs.
Oh, he did ride
Sheta?
on crabs. He
You would
did ride
know,
on
Sheta.
crabs, but the ground had a little bit of like gravel on it, like a dried up desert. But it wasn't sand. It was like dirt. But if you crush it up, it could be like sand. So, yeah, we don't actually learn that much about that area. But where there's crabs, maybe there's sand.
Yep. And then that's gonna be about all we have there. So quickly, I'm just gonna go over just a couple comments that we had from a recent episode. So, all right. So this will be from our Warbreaker, chapters 50 through 53. This will be a Reader Warrior comment. He says, so for my overrated pick for like our animated, Western cartoons, for my overrated pick, it's got to be pretty much anything that's adult animated. Cursing and sex does not make comedy if that's all you have to show.
I don't know. Drawn Together's all cursing and sex, and I like that show.
Mm.
And Aqua Teen Hunger Force is one of my favorites, but it's really not much
Aqua Teen
plot
doesn't
going
have
on.
that much cursing at first. That's only way later. And they have like no sex. That's part of the joke.
They have sex jokes, but not.
Again, not to, like, it's interesting. A lot of those Adult Swim shows are kind of like for teenagers at first, and then they just say fuck it and start going all out when they realize that's what teenagers like.
Chapter 51. All this time, Sheta was thinking the returned were children of themselves, when in fact, when it was in fact Ciri and Vivenna that were the descendants of long dead Returned. Their hair-changing ability is tied to how Returned look like perfected versions of who they were. The real shocker is that Returned could actually have kids.
Yep.
Don't give Sheta credit for her insanity. She threw every fucking thing at the wall in that book for theories.
I did not. I held back. I'll have you know. Like,
Oh, so you had even more random shit to throw at the wall.
I have a book full of that. I just took the best ones to share with everyone.
Now just take that book of all your wrong fan theories and make a book of your own out of it. I'd love to see that.
You could, there's not that much Warbreaker fan fiction. You could write some of that and throw that out there.
I will have to have a pen name.
Yes, Shada, you will get arrested if you write your fan fiction with your own name.
But I will let you guys on the podcast know what it is.
I bet everyone's just holding their breath for that.
At least one person is. Holding something, that's for sure.
I got you, guys.
So chapter 52. And here I was confident that the boss was Bruce Springsteen. Brandon Sanderson is a sadistic monster, and we love it.
Not me.
Chapter 53. I think the weirdest part of this section is that Denth, who knows about Nightblood and its capabilities, basically just threw it into the sea and thought that was a good idea.
Was it Dent who threw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he wasn't going to trust Tonk. Tonkfall won't use it.
Yeah, Tonkfall would have died in a second.
Considering the fact that old chaps might know the fish eat up the decomposing bodies, it's actually fairly smart of him to use this spot and the corpses as bait.
No, it's fairly fucking disgusting. That's what it is.
He doesn't care. He's just going to sell the fish. He's not going to eat it.
Fucking old chap. Man, I'm sad he died.
No. He's like the bane of society.
No, he's providing a valuable service.
Oh, he's not the bane. He's just trying to get by.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to get an honest day's work in.
Yeah. By cheating the system and doing shady underground stuff. Yeah.
And then from our series section, isn't she whole theory about Susubron the twist of? Then he names a different book series. I haven't read the book series, so I don't know if this is a twist at the end of the book or something that happens at the beginning. So I'm just not going to say what the book series is. But he's saying,
okay, go ahead.
Well, he's just saying that your idea about Susubron being like the evil person all along is like the twist of this other book series.
Oh, I could see it. It's not that original from my idea.
But I don't want to say the book series on here because I don't know if this is going to be a big spoiler or a small one. People really want to know, just look at the Warbreaker episode 50 through 53 episode on YouTube and look in the comments section if you're that curious. And then his response to Justin, who said, I don't trust anything until I've seen it and verified it. Mm-hmm. Then why immediately believe that souls and breaths are the same thing?
Did I believe that, or was I horrified that that was the truth?
You believe
All I'm going to say is if I watch a giant man walk up to a child and suck out that child's breath and then until that child becomes kind of dull and lifeless, that bro just sucked out his soul. I saw that with my own eyes. Don't give me any of that. That ain't a soul shit. This is some evil blood magic shit, man. We need to burn the society down.
Except they don't suck it out. The person gives it to them.
That's not what it looks like when I'm watching from afar. I'm just peeking in through a window and I'm like, oh, I forgot. What's the religion that tried to take them down?
The Pon Call.
Well, the Pon Call. We don't
I'm
have
some
a
Pon Call
name.
guy taking a peek over and I'm like, no, fuck this shit. We got to overthrow this.
Okay, except if you're a Pon Call, you live on the planet, so you know what breath is at that point.
Yeah, and I know that this is fucked up. I will never have sympathy for somebody who sucks out the life of a child. I just won't. It's not possible. You can justify it any way you want, man. It's too much for me.
I imagine the visuals look like when you take one of like the little sisters in BioShock and you take their power out of them.
No, because they fight you. That's totally different. And if you cure them, they're happy at the... Actually, Sheta, I have no idea what it looks like. to harvest them. I never did it. So whatever you're
Oh,
referencing, I never saw. I cured every single one I found.
well, I took him.
Yeah, yeah, but you still got the good ending, so you didn't take too many.
I think I tried to take them. I felt so bad I had to restart.
I remember that happened to me in when I was playing Mass Effect, the first one. I chose to kill this like one like alien monster thing that was in the tube, and when I
The
chose to
Rachni.
kill it, yeah, right when I chose to kill it, it showed this sad. Immediately, I felt bad. It's like, oh, I don't feel right about killing this now, but I made the decision, so I have to live with it.
Both of you killed the Rachni. I let it live. You people are monsters.
Why would you
I
let it
don't,
live?
It depends who you take
I don't
with you.
remember.
There's some really good arguments to kill it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what was said or all that stuff. All I remember is I was just like, all right, I'll kill it.
They were responsible
I
for the
pull the
Rachni
switch.
Wars that killed like millions of people. But then it
Mhm.
claims, oh, that wasn't our fault. The songs were out of sync and forced us to do it. We won't do it again. And you're like,
Right.
bullshit.
And what will the songs tell you to do later? Like,
That we know what. They told them to attack on the Reaper's message. That's the third game. Then you go meet it again, and it's like, we swear this time it won't happen again.
Well, no, I don't know that because I killed it, so I didn't get to
No,
see it
because
in the third game.
you see the Frankenstein version in the third one. If you kill it, it looks exactly the same, and then it makes the same argument for you, and you can choose to kill it again or bring this one back. But if you bring this one back, it betrays you because it's a Reaper clone. So you get the same sequence either way in the third game. Just the dialogue's a teensy bit different.
I just remember it's I was all I killed it, but the entire game throughout once I got the first game, first thought I had is I'm gonna cure this genophage. So my
Yeah.
whole plot was throughout the next couple games is find some way to cure the genophage. I was for that, but I had to kill that damn arachnid.
No, man, the genophage is the dangerous one. Krogan breed like hundreds at a time. Like they will overrun the galaxy and like oh, like Edie does the math in the game after you cure it, and it's like, oh god.
All right, well, I think we went enough. So for our first episode, what we will be reading, we'll be reading the prologue through chapter 6. Yep, so that's what we'll be reading. Prologue through chapter 6 of White Sand.
was it ever in issue form or just
No,
graphic novel?
just graphic
Okay.
novel.
Okay.
Essentially, that's the first graphic novel. First graphic novel is chapters 1 through 6, so we have that plus the prologue.
Okay.
All right, so now let's throw in some plugs.
Well,
All right.
since we're reading a comic, if you want to read comics because you're a comic person, you can come read comics at Profanity Beaver on DeviantArt is the best place to read the full things. If you want to read them in awkward little segments, you can also go to Instagram.
Um, for my Instagram, my art will be at my Sheta_bow Instagram, and then other stuff. I'm gonna not put my other one there. That's it. Even though if you've
All right.
listened to this before, you can easily find it.
All right, and for our overall Cosmic Chronicles stuff, you have all the social medias that I somewhat post on are in the description. You can go join those. Different places, or if you can leave a comment or a review, go ahead, do that. Like the videos, whatever. And then if you want to send us an email, cosmicchronicles@gmail.com. Once again, I'll let everyone know that after we do White Sand and Emperor's Soul, we're going to do an episode where we give our overall thoughts on the Cosmere at that point, and also a bunch of different rankings. So if you want to give your own thoughts on, like, rank all the books we have at that point, if you want to rank the magic systems, rank the villains, rank the different ships, fathers, kings/emperors, and maybe even just like your top 10 favorite characters, do all that, because then we will read them along with ours and compare them.
Are you gonna do hottest character?
What the hell?
As of now, yes.
God
if you want to
fucking
throw in,
damn it, Sheta. God damn you.
we'll throw. Oh man, how many should we do? 5 or 10? Something like that. Just like
10? Oh, God.
All right, we'll do top 5 hottest characters. That will also be on the list. If people want to throw in the rankings of who they feel are the top
God
5
fucking
hottest
damn it.
characters.
I hate you all.
But yeah, any of those, please send them to the email because that'll be so much easier for me to set them aside and keep track of all of them. And the sooner you do it, the better, because I don't know how far ahead we'll be recording. So that way you're not going to miss out. But yeah, but that's it. So everyone, be sure to come back next week for our next episode. As I said, the prologue through chapter 6 of White Sand. So everyone go out there and you know what? All right, may not be the best weather for it, but go try to build a sandcastle. Maybe join a sandcastle competition.
What the fuck
Yeah.
are you? Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Get into the mindset of White Sand.
Yep. All right. Bye, everyone.
Wait, Joe. Brandon Sanderson? I just
Oh
put it
my
together.
God.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And he's white? Oh my god.
You cracked it, Sin. You cracked the code.
Holy shit. I just cracked the code. A lot to think about till next time, okay? I'm good.